Guys, welcome back to the channel. Something I wanted to touch base on today here quickly is why it is that you fear doing nothing. Okay? Or why it is that you fear maybe doing something productive and instead you are doing nothing. So what I mean by this is the endorphins, the kick, the surge in happiness that you receive when you do something unproductive in your life can be replicated by doing something that actually benefits you in the long run. So there's two directions you can go. So for example, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing the last couple of weekends. So the last two Saturdays in a row, midday, what I have done is I have actually worked on my side projects. I have been working on a second book. I have been working on developing that part of my life. Now, what I did before in the past, at least 9 to 10 months ago, at least before finishing up my first book, was the following, okay? There would be periods of time where some of the Saturdays, midday, instead of doing productive things, what I would do instead is I would do things enjoyable, like video games for a couple of hours. And it's not to say that these things are necessarily bad for your mental health, but in large doses, large quantities, this is something that is not necessarily going to be healthy for you. So two thoughts are going to go through your head when you know and you are acutely aware of the fact that you are doing something that is truly unproductive. Number one, you are probably going to have short-term happiness. You are probably going to feel good in that moment. And then right afterwards, you're going to realize that you didn't get anything done that day, and you definitely have regret in the back of your mind. The second scenario that can take place is you grind that day, and it doesn't have to be every single Saturday, every single weekend. Okay? I'm not saying that. The number one thing that I've taught, at least recently, is to have a good balance in your life. A good ratio between the fun things that you're doing and the things that may or may not necessarily feel boring in the short term. But these are things that you have to do if you want to make progress. Okay? So, for example, what I did is I typed out 10 pages last Saturday of my second book. It's not necessarily that I wanted to get it out of the way, but I knew it was something productive that I needed to do so that I could replicate that happiness that I received 9 to 10 months ago when I was doing video games for 2 or 3 hours during the day. So those 2 or 3 hours, that happiness that you feel is going to be the exact same as the gratitude and the accomplishment that you feel if you're doing something productive on the side that you know you should do. It is going to be the exact same feeling. It's not going to be different one way or another. Either way, you can achieve that same result. But in the back of your mind, you know that one thing is better for you and the other thing isn't. It is truly that simple. So there's a couple of ways that you guys can fix this. Okay? Without having to have these extra aids that assist you in focusing on things. And especially for the people out there who have ADHD, ADD, where it's very difficult for you to concentrate and focus on something and get it done. You really need to find yourself in a super quiet environment. And if that's in your own living space, you just need things to be completely quiet for about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't even sit in your own thoughts. You need to actively empty every single thought out of your head before you start that task that is going to bring you the same level of happiness as if you were doing something fun and exciting that is not productive. You need to empty your mind for those 5 to 10 minutes. That is what I had to do, and it worked for me. Sit in the corner of your room, whatever it is. If you have to sit in the crisscross applesauce position for 5, 10, 15 minutes, do it. Make a mental note of what it is that you need to get done for that day, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, and then immediately pull out your laptop, pull out whatever it is that you have to get done. Take your bathroom break before, eat before, so that you have absolutely zero distractions during that 2 to 3 hours where you just need to sit and grind. Give yourself and your mind zero excuses for you to get up and leave that environment until what you've done is done. And then if you actively catch yourself saying, oh, I need to go do this, I need to go move around, or I need to go do another mundane task so I can distract myself from getting this thing done, you need to sit down and you need to lock in. Okay? Really try to stop yourself when you find yourself in a situation where that's hindering you from getting things done that you need to get done. That's going to be the best way that you can do this. And the level of happiness that you receive is going to put you at a level where you realize, man, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I got that done. 3 hours before, you weren't feeling like that. But those 3 hours, you can either have 3 hours of happiness playing video games, or you can have 5 to 6 hours afterwards of gratitude for getting something done that you knew you needed to do. Okay, so whether or not you're procrastinating something or you're waiting till the last second to get that one thing done, that's going to be a small little exercise that you guys can do to maximize your effort. And it's not going to be easy the very first time you do it. It's going to be difficult and it's going to be frustrating. And you will catch yourself when you're sitting there for 5, 10, 15 minutes coming up with excuses you didn't even know existed to try to get out of doing that thing. You may be like, oh, I need to go clean the countertop of my bathroom. I haven't done that in like 3 days. You're going to come up with random excuses that just simply aren't going to benefit you there in that moment. Get that thing done that you need to get done. And then once you've made a mental note of all those other things that you actually should be doing on the side, cleaning the bathroom top, going into your fridge, throwing out some of the old food that you've probably let sit in there. Because chances are you probably have some small little things that you do need to get done afterwards. Then go and do those tasks. And then not only did you put yourself into a frame or a mindset where you just did 2 to 3 hours of getting something very important done, but now you're getting all these other mundane tasks done at the exact same time because now you're in this productive mindset. And it doesn't mean you have to replicate this day after day. But what it does mean is that now you're developing a new habit, and then you should probably keep that going at least 3 to 4 days out of the week. And I did previously release a video about how to organize your time, and I'll attach that down below in the description box just so you guys can check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But I made that video about 2.5 weeks ago. So that's definitely something that I think is going to help you guys out too. But speaking of books, my first book is still available, and it's online. It is free if you have a Kindle account, and then there's the hard copy and the soft copy online. That's also going to help you with figuring out how to manage your time. So go check it out if you guys haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Bye.